Developing news this hour out of Los Angeles, where at least 3 county sheriff's deputies have been killed in an explosion.
These 3 individuals worked in the department and know many people, were partners with many people. They leave a family behind, and it's just heartbreaking.
The time is 1 o'clock on Friday, July 18th. It's midday. I'm Maria Shilaos. Coming up, we'll get more on what led up to this incident, which is currently being called a tragic accident. Also this hour,
the prospects for pharmacies in general have been pretty poor.
a shortage of pharmacy staff around Utah. What does that mean for your prescriptions? More on that shortly. But first, our top stories. Developing news. We are watching a few house fires that have popped up in the last few hours across the Wasatch Front. A man was injured this morning in Orem. Fire crews had to pull him from the home on Terrace Drive. We're also waiting for an update from crews on a fire in West Jordan. This one was on the intersection of Fall Oak Drive. We will continue to bring you the very latest. Our top national story from ABC News. After days of pushback from his own base over the Jeffrey Epstein files, President Trump says he has ordered the Attorney General to seek the release of grand jury testimony in the prosecution of the alleged sex trafficker.
The grand jury records in question belong not to the Justice Department, but to the court. To get them unsealed, prosecutors will have to go to a judge with a firm legal rationale. Even though Jeffrey Epstein has been dead for 6 years, there's a broader principle the court will have to consider. Grand jury secrecy is extremely important to the system. It ensures witnesses and victims can testify truthfully about crimes without fearing reprisals.
That is ABC's Stephen Portnoy reporting. Top church leaders visited the only Catholic church in Gaza that was hit by deadly Israeli fire yesterday.
Israel has expressed regret about the strike. It's apologized and it has said that it never deliberately targets civilians or places of worship. But the fact is that what happened to the church is something that we do see routinely in Gaza. You know, many mosques have been hit in the course of the war. Hospital grounds are routinely hit. UN shelters that are holding hundreds, sometimes thousands of civilians are routinely hit.
ABC's Patrick Reevell. A new report shows that health insurance premiums are on the way up. Part of the blame goes to the expiration at the end of the year of enhanced premium tax credits and the effects of tariffs on health costs. ABC's Karen Travers has more.
These subsidies have made it so more people could afford plans under the Affordable Care Act. And the big concern now is that, one, this could drive up costs, but two, you have people then who were buying these plans because they were getting these subsidies. If they choose to not purchase, then people would lose coverage. First of all, they would be uninsured, but also then it means healthy people would leave the markets, and that would make it more difficult then for the coverage for people who need coverage under the Affordable Care Act.
People who buy health insurance on healthcare.gov or state-based marketplaces could see their premiums rise 75% on average. Taking a look at your money at this moment, the Dow is down by more than 200 points, nearly 0.5%, sitting at 44,282. S&P 500 down by 5, and the NASDAQ, it's down by 10 points. Traffic and weather, it's brought to you by Mountain America's Double Rewards credit card promotion. What's going on, Ricky?
Well, we don't have any accidents reported, but we definitely have had slowdowns northbound I-15 through South Salt Lake, starting just before 33rd South up to just past the I-80 201 junction. Otherwise, all of the Valley freeways are looking good. Deseret First Credit Union is turning 70, and now it's their turn to say thank you with special member giveaways happening all year long. Visit dfcu.com to learn more. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
We are enjoying cooler temperatures across the Wasatch Front today. We do have a 20% chance of showers today and tomorrow. The high staying close to the mid-90s, up to 96 on Sunday, and then looks like a lot of sunshine next week. Right now, 86 degrees at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios.
The sources where we get our news matters.
When you listen to Utah's Morning News, we want you to feel the stories are important to you and trustworthy. This is Amanda Dixon.
And I'm Andy Farnsworth. Join us weekday mornings on KSL News Radio.
Peak summer fun is here, and so are peak summer savings during the Utah Summer RV Sale, presented by Bish's RV. July 17th through the 19th at the Shops of Southtown, we're bringing you sizzling summer savings on new and used RVs. We're packing the parking lot with smoking deals for every budget. Shop new and used travel trailers, fifth wheels, toy haulers, motorhomes, and more. Like travel trailers starting under $119 per month on approved credit. 90 days of all play and no pay OAC. Plus trade up when you trade in your current RV. Get an additional $500 value added to your current travel trailer, or an additional $1,000 added to your current fifth wheel or Class C motorhome when you trade it in. You'll also get a Blackstone Adventure Ready grill with any RV purchase during the sale. And this is the only summer show to feature the entire lineup from Wayfinder RV, exclusively at Bish's. Don't miss your best chance for an epic second half of summer during the Utah Summer RV Sale. 3 days only, July 17th through the 19th at the Shops at Southtown. See you there. Based on approved credit, 20% down, 8.99% APR for 180 months. Stock number 81734. Subject to prior sale. See the details. Deal number 426B.
Amanda, we love talking about Utah Community Credit Union, and guess what? They just got news that they saved their members over $40 million in 2024 alone.
And UCCU is opening 4 new branches in the Salt Lake Valley, which means 6 total now. They have 21st South, Taylorsville, Sandy, Magna, Harriman, and Draper.
And to celebrate these new branches, UCCU is offering some amazing opportunities. First of all, $150 cash just for setting up direct deposit with your UCCU account.
They'll give you up to $250 cash just for transferring any existing loan from another institution to UCCU.
And here's the big one, giving away 10 amazing prizes, including, get this, a brand new 2025 Jeep Wrangler.
So you heard that right. A brand new Jeep Wrangler could be yours, and no purchase is necessary. You don't even have to be a member.
Anyone can enter. It's easy. All you've got to do is go to uccu.com and sign up. So enter to win today.
UCCU.com. Find out more about Utah Community Credit Union, where you're going to love where you bank.
We do have breaking news here on Midday. We are getting an update on a house fire in West Jordan. Getting an update from police now or fire officials now. Let's listen in.
And a 4th individual who was life-flighted to the University of Utah Hospital and is currently in critical condition. We'd like to thank the surrounding agencies that came out to help and our other partners who came out to help today. This investigation is still ongoing and rapidly evolving, so we'll release information as soon as we can.
Do we believe those 3 deceased are as a result of the fire?
Yes, we do.
Okay. Sergeant, do you know if they were all related? Is this a family?
That's information we're still investigating currently, so still working on that information.
What are the demographics? Children, adults?
The age, the identity, everything, we're looking into that right now. Our investigators are on scene, continuing to investigate right now to figure out the answers to all of those questions.
Sergeant, probably when you have police here, this becomes more than a fire department thing when you're dealing with that, correct, sir?
When there is confirmed deceased individuals in the house, we do the investigation in conjunction with the fire department. So,
do we have any idea right now what caused the fire?
We're still looking into what the cause of the fire was, yes.
We see the back of the house engulfed. Is the front of the house, did it catch on fire too? Was it the whole home?
No, it was not the whole home. Yeah, it's what you can see back here is the majority of the visible damage from the outside.
What goes into this kind of investigation? You have 3 deceased, there's a fire, you guys are trying to figure out if there was any crime here. Can you talk about that?
Like I said, we do this investigation in conjunction with the West Jordan Fire Department. They have investigators who are employed with their agency as well. And so our detectives from the police department and the investigators from the fire department work in conjunction to figure out what happened.
Do we have any update on the person that was life-flighted out of here at all?
As the last what we have is they're still in critical condition. So.
Was that an adult or a child?
Still looking into that. Yeah, don't know the answer to that yet.
Have you guys responded to this home for any reason in the past?
I'm not sure if we have any history at this house prior to today. I'm not confident on that. Sorry. I may be able to have information on that later, but right now I don't have that information.
And was it neighbors that called 911, or how did you guys get initial reports of this fire?
I'm not sure who called 911, if it was multiple people. I just know the 911 call came out, and our crews were dispatched around 10:15 to 10:18, somewhere in there.
Was this a single alarm, 2-alarm fire?
This was a 2-alarm fire.
And did the firemen make entry into the house?
Yes, they did.
So they attacked rather than defense?
Yes.
Was the individual that is in critical condition right now, were they found inside or outside the home?
They were found outside of the home.
Were they conscious? Were they talking to Cruz?
I'm not confident whether they were conscious or talking. I'm not sure on that.
Was there anybody else in the house that wasn't besides these 4 individuals?
I'm not sure. That's part of what our investigators are looking into. As far as we know currently, there were just the 4 individuals.
And we've heard reports of neighbors going into the house to try to do anything. Have you heard anything?
I haven't personally heard about neighbors going into the house. No, I haven't heard that.
As you guys have been collecting items from the home, anything unusual, any weapons, anything of note you guys were looking into?
I'm not sure if any weapons or anything like that has been located. Again, that's what the investigators are working on right now.
Premature question, but any suspects, people of interest, anyone detained here?
Again, same answer. Our investigators are looking in to see if this was a criminal event or what happened. So really just about the details about what happened. That's what they're investigating right now.
And how long do you think you'll be out here for?
I imagine we'll at least have this road closed for a couple of hours. I'm not sure how long we'll be at the house, as long as is necessary to do a thorough investigation.
And any damage to the nearby homes, or are they okay?
No damage to the nearby homes. So.
Forgive me for any redundancy here, but is it typical in West Jordan if there's a deceased person in a fire that you guys all of a sudden call it a crime scene? Or is there something else here?
If we're investigating a death, we're going to treat it as a crime scene until it's not a crime scene. Does that make sense? Okay. Yeah.
Any idea where the fire started, though, in the home?
That's something that our investigators are looking into. Where it started, how it started, all of that.
Okay, you are listening to a news conference out of West Jordan. This is West Jordan Police. They are confirming 3 people died this morning in a house fire in West Jordan. There is also a person in critical condition who has been life-flighted to the hospital. No indication as to what caused the fire, no indication as to if they're looking for any suspects in this case. And this is a developing story. We'll continue to bring you the very latest information. We are also continuing to follow developing news out of Los Angeles. 3 LA County Sheriff's deputies are dead following an explosion near a training facility. Officials there holding a press conference just a few minutes ago.
They were 3 sworn members who were fatally killed that were assigned to our arson explosives detail. No other department members were injured or transported to any hospitals. This is, unfortunately, the largest loss of life for us as the LA County Sheriff's Department since 1857. Between all 3 sworn members, they had served our community proudly for 74 years, and that's amongst all 3 of them collectively. 19 years, 22 years, and 33 years. And at this point, we are not giving out their names. One of the reasons it took me a while to get out here, one of my priorities is the families of our deputies. And I've met with several of them this morning. There are still others who are on their way. There are others who have not been notified. The last thing I want to do is them to turn on the news and find out that way. So thank you for respecting that at this point. My second priority were our employees. Our employees are hurting right now. Members of our Special Enforcement Bureau, other members of our arson detail as well, arson explosives detail. In regards to the details of what happened, I'm going to give you what I have right now. There's a lot more that we don't know than what we do know. But our intent is to look at this from the very beginning and figure out what is it exactly that caused this tragic event. Currently, our homicide detectives are on scene, and they are investigating the deaths that are we are being assisted by the Federal Bureau of Investigation, who are investigating the post-blast portion of this incident.
3 LA County Sheriff's deputies died in that explosion. We will continue to track this and bring you updates as we get them. Midday returns in just 60 seconds.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Hey, that's the spirit. Right now, we're celebrating free with a free STP oil filter when you buy 5 quarts of oil and free Duralast brake pads when you buy 2 rotors. Like always, free battery testing, charging, and recycling at every store. Celebrate free at AutoZone, now through July 28th. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply.
Utah and states all over the nation are in need of a lot more pharmacists. KSL News Radio's Adam Small spoke to a local expert about some potential reasons why.
We've had a tough time getting someone to accept an offer from us.
Benjamin Jolly is a pharmacist and general manager at Jolly's Compounding Pharmacy. He says they've been looking to bring in another pharmacist with no luck, and they're far from the only ones dealing with this problem.
There has been an increase in a number of listings for pharmacist jobs across the West region, which includes Utah.
There's a myriad of potential reasons why. For one, he says pharmacist pay hasn't really changed much in the last 25 years and therefore hasn't kept up with inflation. Plus, many pharmacies have been cutting workforce costs, leaving less staff to fill more prescriptions. Jolly also says problems in the pharmacy sector as a whole could be contributing as well.
Rite Aid has gone through 2 bankruptcies. Walgreens has lost 90% of their stock value and is going private. CVS has been closing lots and lots of pharmacies.
And combine that with the fact that enrollment numbers in pharmacy schools have been dropping for nearly a decade.
Which I think leads to students thinking, do I want to go into this?
And when it comes to fixing the problem, Jolly thinks it needs to start with preventing insurance companies from owning their own pharmacies.
Their own self-dealing and sucking all of the profit out of the system so that no one else can continue to operate. You shouldn't be allowed to be in charge of paying pharmacies and being a pharmacy at the same time.
Jolly says some federal and state lawmakers have actually tried taking action against insurance companies who own their own pharmacies.
Senator Elizabeth Warren, Josh Hawley, Representative Diana Harshbarger, and Representative Jake Auchincloss introduced a bill last session called the Patients Before Monopolies Act that simply says, starting next year, you can't be both. You got to sell the pharmacy or sell the pharmacy benefit manager. Pick one. You can't be both. After that happened, Arkansas introduced legislation to ban this same vertical integration. And they passed it into law. Sarah Huckabee Sanders signed it into law and is now being sued by the largest pharmacy benefit managers and pharmacies, saying, we don't like this.
And no matter how we do it, Jolly says we need to reverse this job posting trend.
When people don't take their medicines, particularly their blood pressure medicines, their diabetes medicines, their cholesterol medicines, there's an increase in the number of people that die from heart attacks and strokes. Without medications, people die.
Adam Small, KSL News Radio.
The U.S. House passing a major rescissions bill overnight. More on the impact here in Utah next. But first, it's KSL Traffic, brought to you by Mountain America's Double Rewards credit card promotion. Ricky?
Slow speeds, northbound I-15 between 2100 South and the 6 South exit into downtown Salt Lake City. I don't have a problem reported. It may just be a big load or something slowing things down. But once you're past downtown, you are good to go. Northbound I-15 all the way through Davis County. UDOT construction alert. Plan ahead for a full closure of Logan Canyon on July 21st from 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. for trench and piping work. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Hey there, it's Julie from Logan, where we know how to celebrate summer. First, something super cool when it's really hot. Logan has a new plaza downtown with music and games and a splash pad for kids. Well, I said kids, but hey, we don't judge. Jump in. Free Alive After 5 concerts and movies at the plaza Wednesday and Friday nights. Check out the calendar at explorelogan.com. Keep it cool by checking out live tribute concerts like The Monkees, Elton John's The Rocket Man Show, and the Neil Diamond Experience. If theater is more your style, see the musical Bright Star, Broadway's The Prince of Egypt, or the classic comedy The Importance of Being Earnest. After all, Logan is Utah's heart of the arts. Fresh mountain air is only 10 minutes from your hotel. Enjoy cooler temperatures in the canyon while you hike, mountain bike, picnic, fish, or sing yodelay-hee-hoo at the top of your lungs. Everything's cooler in Logan, and we've got a lot going on. Check out the calendar at explorelogan.com. explorelogan.com.
When you take your grandkids to Disney, do they know what's in your investment portfolio? Do they even care? They're busy having a great time, and you're busy making memories. At Galileo Wealth Management, we understand the nuts and bolts of retirement planning, our investments, the stock market, taxes, Social Security, Medicare, and more. But think about it. What are you trying to do here? Is your goal to beat the S&P? Or is your goal to make memories with your family? Our goal is to give you the confidence to spend in retirement without the fear of running out of money. Call Todd Kim at Galileo Wealth Management today, 801-516-3227. That's 801-516-3227, or go online to GalileoWealth.com. Let Todd Kim and Galileo Wealth Management help you make memories, not just money.
Ever wonder what goes on behind the scenes of one of the longest-running broadcasts in history? Discover the people, the stories, and the inspiration behind music and the spoken word in the brand new podcast, Behind the Scenes with Music and the Spoken Word. Join host Derek Porter for a heartfelt journey into the passion, preparation, and purpose behind this beloved weekly broadcast. Listen now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Behind the Scenes with Music and the Spoken Word. Inspiration you'll feel, stories you'll never forget.
An emergency can happen any second. Here's a few seconds to think about where you'd go. When you need medical care fast, the closest emergency room is a smart thing to know. Common Spirit Health ERs are your direct path between feeling scared or uncomfortable and feeling better. Find emergency care in your neighborhood at mountain.commonspirit.org.
Hey, it's Mike Rohn. If I have a choice, I like to do business with companies that actually stand for something. That's why I switched from Verizon to Pure Talk. No offense to Verizon, I'm sure they stand for something. I just don't know what it is. Pure Talk, on the other hand, is a veteran-owned company that supports our military in a big way, and I appreciate that. Yeah, I also appreciate unlimited talk and text and plenty of data for half the cost of the big guys, and I do like being on America's most dependable 5G network for just $20 a month, but what I really appreciate is no contract, no cancellation fees, and Pure Talk's commitment to handle all their customer service in this country. I saw it for myself. I went to Georgia, I got a tour of their headquarters, I met their CEO, and I talked to the same customer service folks that you'll talk to when you dial pound 250 and say keyword Mike Rowe. Switch today and save 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say keyword Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. A wireless company that actually stands for something.
If you're struggling with your mortgage, there's a free government program that offers expert one-on-one advice about your mortgage options. Call 1-888-995-HOPE or visit makinghomeaffordable.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Treasury, HUD, and the Ad Council.
You are listening to Midday with Maria Shilaos. President Trump's late night all caps posting on his Truth Social platform says it all. This is big. The House has voted to reverse funding that it had already approved. ABC's Jim Ryan.
The final vote was hardly a landslide.
On this vote, the yeas are 216. The nays are 213.
But House Speaker Mike Johnson says the effect will be profound.
We clawed back $9 billion in taxpayer funds and wasteful spending, fraud, waste, and abuse.
The cuts include $1.1 billion for the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and $135 million to the World Health Organization. The rescissions package now heads to President Trump's desk. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
What about cuts to public broadcasting here in Utah? We might be kind of a competitor to NPR Utah and PBS Utah, but it's an important conversation that affects us all. Maria O'Mara is the executive director of NPR and PBS Utah. She joined Inside Sources this morning to talk a bit about how this funding rescission could affect public media in Utah.
Here on campus at the University of Utah, we are a statewide broadcast service. So PBS Utah, obviously heard all over the state, KUER. And then we have a news station, Avanza 88.3 that's a bilingual, bicultural music station. We, I think, will be okay. We're certainly not intending to go dark anytime soon. We've been very careful stewards of our public funding, and especially our listener and viewer funding, and we will not make dramatic cuts quickly here. However, this is a big hit to our funding model that we've had for decades, and so we will undoubtedly need to make some changes in our service. Now, we are really grateful for colleagues in other parts of the state. Those are smaller stations in Logan, in Moab, in Park City. We have great kinship and not a competition with them, and we know they're smaller, and they are like, and KRCL, by the way, in Salt Lake, we know their margins might be a little bit smaller. I think they'll all be okay too, but there will be many, many stations, especially in the most remote and rural parts of our country, that will not survive this.
According to NPR, on the national level, nearly 3 in 4 Americans say they rely on their public radio and TV stations for alerts and news for their public safety. 988, the National Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, has ended its specialized service for LGBTQ youth. Now, state crisis officials are speaking out, making sure that members of that community know and understand that they can still get the help they need when calling 988. Crisis Administrator Jennifer Hebden-Selyusted joined me to talk about what she sees as the impact from the Fed's decision to end these specialized services.
Well, first, I want to say that I really appreciate the opportunity to discuss this recent change in 988. I think it's really important to highlight any changes in resources so we can continue to support any access or support for those in need. I want to make it clear that 988 Utah, we will continue to serve as a trusted lifeline for all people in Utah in need of immediate mental and behavioral health support without exception. Of course, this announcement comes in response to the recent decision by the current administration to discontinue the national LGBTQ plus 988 support line. That began yesterday. And while the federally mandated changes removes the Press 3 option that previously connected callers to a separate support line designed to serve and support the LGBTQ plus community, we want to emphasize that all calls, texts, and chats originating from Utah, they'll continue to be answered by trained professionals. And those professionals remain equipped to respond to a wide range of needs and experiences.
So is the state stepping up to provide this service, or is it just going to be kind of intermingled with the other service?
So we've always had 988 available. As you probably know, 988 is part of our crisis continuum within the state. The changes made at a national level, but we've always provided the support to all people of all backgrounds. And we'll continue to monitor the change in volume that may come with this, but want to make clear to all Utahns that support remains available, and we'll continue to provide that to everyone.
Maybe you could explain what would happen when somebody did use these special services. How were they different from what you provide overall with 988?
Well, previously, when someone would call, they could press 3 to go to a separate resource that was specialized in the LGBTQ plus population or community. That has been taken out, but they can still call and speak to a trained clinician here in the state of Utah. Those clinicians are trained in culturally competent care and equipped to support callers of all backgrounds.
So do you feel that they will be getting the same service that they were under this specialized number?
Well, fortunately, those clinicians, those 988 trained clinicians are culturally competent, equipped to support. But people can certainly still call 988 and ask for resources specific to their unique situation as well, and they can connect them with what they need specifically for their situation.
So if they aren't going to get what they need there, you have other resources for them. How do they do that? How do they get those services?
Just call 988 and speak to that 988 clinician and let them know what they need specifically, and the 988 clinician can direct them to the right place for them.
Is there any indication how many people were pressing 3 in Utah?
Yeah, according to our records, we anticipate about 10 increased calls in volume per day. And we do have the resources to address that increase in volume.
All right. Any final thoughts for us?
No, I just really want to emphasize that 988 is there for anyone in Utah, regardless of your situation. And we are here to support all people in Utah with compassion, respect, and care.
That is Crisis Administrator Jennifer Hebden-Selyestead, reassuring folks that 988 is prepared to help anyone who is in crisis. It's 1:30, midday at KSL News Radio. I'm Maria Shilaos. Some of the stories we are watching this hour. Trust and confidence in the U.S. Supreme Court at a record low. We'll dig into the reasons why and possible ways to improve that trust. A new test aimed at detecting cancers with a simple finger prick. And KSL traffic, Ricky.
A little bit of trouble in traffic northbound I-15 with a couple of vehicles over to the shoulder about 2100 south. The delays from South Salt Lake to downtown are easing. Maria?
KSL's top local stories in 1 minute, but first, ABC News.
ABC News, I'm Chuck Severson. President Trump at the White House signing a landmark bill regulating cryptocurrency to boost public confidence in it.
The Genius Act, they named it after me, and I want to thank you.
President Trump on social media denying there's evidence implicating him in the Jeffrey Epstein files. Angry MAGA supporters see a lack of transparency. Mr. Trump's ordered the Attorney General to get more Epstein material released, which is subject to court approval. Health insurance premiums on the way up as much as 75%, says new analysis from KFF Research Group. Part of the blame goes to the expiration at the end of the year of enhanced premium tax credits. A deadly explosion today in the building that houses the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department bomb squad and its training facility. At least 3 deputies are dead. Sheriff Robert Luna.
There's a lot more that we don't know than what we do know.
The county and state federal law enforcers investigating. This is ABC News.
KSL's top local story. We are following breaking news out of West Jordan. Just minutes ago, we learned that 3 people were found dead in a burning home in West Jordan this morning. Sergeant Andrew Hercules with West Jordan Police says that they were called around 10:15 this morning and found the home on 8270 South and 6430 West engulfed in flames.
Our investigators are looking in to see if this was a criminal event or what happened. So really just about the details about what happened. That's what they're investigating right now.
He says there was a 4th person in the home at the time who was life-flighted to the hospital. We are also following a house fire in Orem that began around 10:30 this morning. Fire officials say they pulled 1 man out of the home who was then taken to the hospital. Crews were able to put the fire out, but they say the damage is extensive and the family will be displaced. There is no word on what caused the fire. Utah and the nation need a lot more pharmacists.
We've had a tough time getting someone to accept an offer from us.
Benjamin Jolly is a pharmacist and general manager at Jolly's Compounding Pharmacy. He says they've been looking to bring in another pharmacist with no luck, and they're far from the only ones dealing with this problem.
There has been an increase in a number of listings for pharmacist jobs across the West region, which includes Utah.
Jolly says the number of kids enrolling in pharmacy school has also been steadily dropping for nearly a decade, and he thinks instability in the sector is a big reason why.
Rite Aid has gone through 2 bankruptcies. Walgreens has lost 90% of their stock value and is going private. CVS has been closing lots and lots of pharmacies.
Jolly also says pharmacist pay hasn't really changed much over the last 20 years either, while pharmacy staff gets smaller and order numbers get bigger. To fix the problem, he says he thinks we need to prevent insurance companies from owning their own pharmacies, which he claims is sucking all the profits out of the system. Adam Small, KSL News Radio.
Headed into the close, the Dow is down 175 points, nearly 0.5%, sitting at 44,308. S&P, it's down by 5, and the NASDAQ is down by 12 points. Traffic and weather brought to you by Mountain America's Double Rewards credit card promotion. Ricky?
We had a lot of slowing on northbound I-15 without any reports of issues in traffic from just before 33rd South to about the 6th South exit. There were a couple of vehicles over to the shoulder near 2100 South. They're gone, and the delays that we had through that stretch are starting to ease. And right now, we have a crash-free commute being reported on your Salt Lake County freeways. While you're planning your day, plan for comfort too with the Good Feet store. Find the location nearest you at goodfeet.com. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Right now in the 7-day forecast today and tomorrow, the only days with a chance of rain and just a 20% chance. Highs will stay in the mid-90s for the next 7 days. Right now, 86 degrees at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios.
Mornings are for recharging.
And they're for starting your day right.
We volunteer to join you in the car. Get news and weather at 102.7 FM during the most important part of your day.
Andy and Amanda, each morning between 5 and 9 on KSL News Radio.
When was the last time your vacation was living the art of adventure? Discover it in Cedar City, Utah. Towering red rocks, epic trails, summer events, and world-class drama at the Tony Award-winning Utah Shakespeare Festival starting June 17th with Macbeth, Antony and Cleopatra, and more. Marvel at nature's masterpieces with just a short drive to Zion, Bryce Canyon, Cedar Breaks, and Kolob Canyons. Discover Utah's earliest artists at the Parowan Gap Petroglyph site. Head up to Bryan Head for chairlift rides that deliver endless high-elevation views. Wildflower Meadows, topped off with ATV and downhill biking trails. Be starstruck by the skies at Cedar Breaks National Monument. Browse Cedar City's unique shops and indulge in savory bites. Come experience the art of adventure around every turn in Cedar City. Start planning your vacation right now at visitcedarcity.com.
Now there's a new way to take charge of your blood sugar. Introducing new Garlic Healthy Blood Sugar Formula from the makers of the nation's best-selling garlic supplement. New Garlic helps maintain healthy blood sugar levels with clinically supported levels of garlic, plus a custom blend of vitamins and minerals, and it's odor-free. Take charge of your blood sugar with new Garlic Healthy Blood Sugar Formula. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com, sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Hey gang, it's Big Jim Smith. I am now retired and I'm a full-time radio listener, and I'm glad I am. I had a unique situation of not being able to refi my house because I'm not employed. Despite the fact that I have lots of income, I have tons of assets, overcoming some hurdles made it impossible to get things together with banks or credit unions. So I contacted a guy I heard about right here on the radio, Rick Kirchenbaum at Loans by Rick. Best phone call I've ever made. Rick and his team at Vintage Lending were able to help me overcome some incredible hurdles, how to verify my income, all the things I needed to do to get my refi together, and they got me more cash out of my house than I expected. Do it. If you have problems getting your financing together, call Loans by Rick. You can trust Rick Kirchenbaum, Loans by Rick, and Vintage Lending. He is NMLS number 241179. Call him directly at 801-809-7283. That's 801-809-7283. Tell him Big Jim sent you. Loans by Rick.
You are listening to Midday with Maria Shilaos. More than 900 former employees of the Justice Department have urged the Senate to reject the nomination of a senior DOJ official to be a judge on the Third Circuit Court Appeals Court. Now, this court handles cases in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Delaware. Emil Bovee was a key member of Donald Trump's defense team. At the Justice Department, he ordered corruption charges against New York Mayor Eric Adams dropped. And a whistleblower recently claimed that he saw Bovee suggesting the administration should ignore court orders. Senate Democrats even recently walked out of the Judiciary Committee vote on Bovee.
Opponents say that Emil Bovee is one of the worst picks that they've ever seen for the federal judiciary. At his confirmation hearing late last month, Bovee said that there was a wildly inaccurate caricature of him in the press, that he's not anybody's henchman or anybody's enforcer. He's merely a lawyer. But opponents have a list of complaints about Emil Bovee, and they include the fact that he was a key member of Donald Trump's defense team, that at the Justice Department, where he currently serves as Principal Associate Deputy Attorney General, he ordered that the corruption charges against New York City Mayor Eric Adams be dropped.
That is ABC News national correspondent Stephen Portnoy reporting. Amid all of that, new data shows us that fewer Americans have confidence in the judicial system than ever before. A new Quinnipiac University poll finds that 63% of Americans believe the U.S. Supreme Court, the highest court in the land, is more driven by politics than the law. In the latest polling in a series of related national surveys showing public trust in the Supreme Court as an institution has reached record lows. Let's dig into this a bit with KSL legal analyst and co-host of Inside Sources, Greg Skordas. And Greg, does this polling match what you've seen and heard over the past few years?
Unfortunately, Maria, yes. And I really am sad to hear this. And I hear it on the streets. I hear it in the courts. I've just left the court. And it's where we are right now. But historically, and in my career for 4 decades, we've never considered the Supreme Court, or at least thought of the Supreme Court, as being political, as being something other than just a completely independent and thoughtful third branch of government. But I think those days are gone, and hopefully not forever. But yeah, our Supreme Court right now has every reason to have that moniker on it as being a political body, which it has never been in the past.
So you think it is more than just perception? It has become more political over time.
Yes, and if you look at the Supreme Court, let's say you take 20 opinions, you probably see 12 or 15 where they all agree. But the big ones, the controversial ones, the ones that are really important right now, are not like that. They're where we have this 6-3 split among liberals on one side, then there are 3, and conservatives on the other, and there are 6, and that's just kind of what we're getting used to now. And a lot of these opinions are very much along party lines, and they're considering, for example, it seems like a lot of their cases right now are dealing with these executive president, which we've not had to deal with in the past. Prior presidents haven't issued nearly as many, and the Supreme Court's weighing in and largely supporting the president. And the dissenting judges are so angry that they're saying things that you just don't see the Supreme Court justices saying about one another.
You and I are pretty keyed into these rulings and how each justice does rule, but do you think this shows that the public knows what they're doing as well? Because before I thought they were just kind of hearing the basic ruling and not understanding which justice ruled which way.
Yeah, I think when the public continues to be told it's 6-3 and the conservatives have found this and the liberals have found that, or even when you're not dealing with the Supreme Court, when you're dealing with just a judge who makes a decision, we've never talked about who appointed them. Now, when you hear a case, a judge in Texas, for example, made a decision and he was appointed by Obama, or he was appointed by Trump, or he was appointed by Bush. For some reason now that's seemingly important, when in the past nobody cared which president appointed a judge. Now it seems to be part of the focus when you consider what the judge's decision is.
So what do you think can be done to restore confidence and trust in the courts?
I think it's just going to take time, Maria. I think that we need to, we just need to sit back and let the courts work it themselves out. But they're issuing rulings now and decisions that will be with us for decades to come, and hope that there's a more of a sense of balance and this not having the bias in the future. But it's going to take a long time. I think the public has every reason to be concerned about the court, and that's going to continue for at least another decade, probably.
Kind of a sad state of events. I mean, we've always felt our court systems were what kept everything fair for all of us.
Yeah, we always do. And I still believe that in my heart. I really do. I just think it's a bad time right now as with the Supreme Court. I think most of the lower court judges are still very fair and balanced, but our Supreme Court seems a little bit askew right now.
All right, Greg, thanks for being with me. That is Greg Skordas, KSL legal analyst and the co-host of Inside Sources. You can get more insights on the top political stories of the day every weekday with Greg and Holly Richardson on Inside Sources. It airs every weekday beginning at 9 a.m. Midday with Maria Shilaos continues in just 60 seconds.
Your electric bill is going to be higher for summer, but not if you get new windows from Advanced Window Products. State-of-the-art double-pane windows and insulated frames, any style, any color, from a company that's been building them right here in Salt Lake City for 39 years. Not only are you buying local, but you're cutting out the middleman because they're the factory. You save 30, even 40% on your new windows, and you get a lifetime guarantee from a trusted local company. If there's a problem 5 years from now, they come right over and get things straight. And right now, you can save even more. If you call Advanced Windows for a quote, they'll give you an extra $2,500 off on 10 windows or more. Advanced Windows offers buy now, pay later. They have 60-month 0% financing. They always work out affordable payments, plus $2,500 off. So get your new windows for summer. Make the call now, 801-850-9100. That's 801-850-9100, or you can go to advancedwindows.com.
An at-home cancer test is being developed by a professor at Weber State, and the results so far are promising. Dr. Bharath Babu Nuna tells KSL News Radio's Tammy Kikuchi he's developing a test to detect ovarian and breast cancer.
It's like a self-evaluation device that can be used by anyone. It's something like they can just, anyone can go to a pharmacy store, get the device, and just like a glucose monitoring device, you can make a finger prick. You can test if you or anyone who want to evaluate would make a simple examination of their blood sample and can see if they do have this cancer biomarkers in their blood.
The tests are designed to be relatively inexpensive, costing just a few dollars. And he says he chose to work on a test for ovarian and breast cancer first because it's especially important to catch them early.
Ovarian cancer is called as a silent killer for the among all the gynecologic cancers because it's a very sneaky disease, and until the patient really experience the pain, I think the patient would be in like third stage or fourth stage, which has a very low survival rate.
Dr. Nuna says these two tests are just the beginning, because he says there are other things that they're hoping to diagnose, a number of diseases.
This device is a platform device which can be expandable to other diseases. Also, we are working on Alzheimer's at this point of time, and we are very successful with that to detect the Alzheimer biomarkers using the same device. So this device is technically at this point of time, though we are working on ovarian cancer, but however, this is going to be a platform device that can be expandable to many other devices, including the cancer.
Right now, the at-home tests are in clinical trials, and if they get FDA approval, they can go to market within 3 years. Economists are loving the latest monthly jobs report for the state of Utah. Jared Mendenhall is the spokesman for the State Department of Workforce Services.
The job count grew by 39,700 jobs. That's a growth rate of 2.3%. And unemployment remains low at 3.2% compared to the national numbers. Nationally, the unemployment number is 4.1%, and then job growth is only 1.1% on the national level. And economists love to see a lot of stability in the economy because that gives both workers and businesses that ability to plan for the future. It gives them more confidence. So as a worker, you're going to feel more secure in taking out a loan or getting braces for the kid, things like that. And then companies feel safer just investing in new projects and hiring more workers.
And Mendenhall tells Utah's Morning News on KSL that the progress continues across multiple industries.
We measure growth across 10 major private sector industry groups, and we saw growth in the predictable areas, the areas we've seen growth over that past year. That's education and health services, which led the pack with about 15,800 new jobs. Construction built on all their momentum with about 6,200 jobs. And then the professional and business services sector accounted for about 4,700 new jobs. The one highlight is that Utah has also seen a healthy rebound in leisure and hospitality. Year over year, that sector grew by 2% and served up about 3,500 new positions to local payrolls. Earlier this year, there were some concerns because hiring was slow in that leisure and hospitality sector. There were some concerns going into the summer months where there's a lot of tourism. But this month, those numbers show that the industry has recovered and is expanding nicely.
Again, our unemployment rate is a healthy 3.2% here in Utah, outpacing the national average by nearly a full percent. This is Midday. We are streaming live on the KSL News Radio app. It's sponsored by At Your Service Pros. After the break, we'll bring you the story of a Utah trucker now named a highway angel for providing selfless service to an injured motorcyclist. You don't want to miss this story. But first, it's KSL Traffic. It's brought to you by a Mountain America's Double Rewards credit card promotion. Ricky, where's this emergency traffic situation?
It's in Utah County emergency traffic southbound I-15. This is near Pleasant Grove Boulevard at the on-ramp. It's still blocking a right shoulder at that ramp. You may want to avoid this area, but it backed up traffic quickly on the main flow past Pioneer Crossing in American Fork. Now, in Salt Lake County, we also have an accident. The backups have cleared, but this is northbound I-15 prior to 2100 South over to the right. When you need the financial products and services for every stage of life, Cyprus Credit Union is there for whatever the future holds. Visit cypruscu.com today. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
How good would it feel to finally take off all those extra pounds that you've been carrying around? With the help of Salt Lake City Fat Loss, I have lost more than 40 pounds. I've loved this program because for the first time, I didn't have to exercise for over an hour a day to boost my metabolism, to take off those extra pounds. They use just a simple combination of foods that help you burn that stored fat, and it burns it very quickly so you don't get frustrated that you're not losing weight. Again, it's simple, it fits perfectly into my busy schedule, and it's easy to follow, all natural with great resources to keep you accountable. Since there are no injections, surgery, or pills, you also don't have those added concerns about any possible health impacts. And their app gives you daily inspiration, great recipes, and keeps you accountable. I've lost more than 40 pounds. Many of their clients lose up to a pound per day. Find out how you can save $200 now at slcfatloss.com, or you can call them 801-450-1882, slcfatloss.com, slcfatloss.com.
Respiratory virus season is quickly approaching, meaning we'll see more flu, COVID, and RSV in our community. The good news is vaccines are available that will help prevent these infections and keep people healthy. For flu and COVID, everyone aged 6 months and older are recommended to be vaccinated to help protect ourselves and our families against serious illness. Fall remains the best time to be vaccinated. Respiratory viruses circulate year-round, but peak late fall through winter. Your doctor can recommend which vaccines are best for you and your family.
Brought to you by Intermountain Health and KSL News Radio.
This summer, Bear Lake Convention and Visitors Bureau invites you and the family to celebrate Raspberry Days, August 7th through the 9th. Join the fun with a festive parade, live music, food vendors, craft booths, and kids' rides at Heritage Park and Garden City. Don't miss the pie-eating contests, bingo, fishing tournament, and of course, Bear Lake's famous Raspberry Shakes. Cap it all off with the sparkling boat-like parade and fireworks over the lake. Then, as the leaves turn gold and the air grows crisp, fall into adventure at Bear Lake. Explore scenic trails, cozy up by the fire, and check out the second annual MMA Fierce Fighting Championship event and Bear Lake Brawl Demolition Derby. Whether it's summer fun or fall thrills, plan your escape today. Lodging, events, and year-round paradise just outside your back door. Visit bearlake.org. bearlake.org.
Regardless of how old your air conditioner is, there are a few things you can do to help it last as many summers as possible. What's up, everybody? I'm Mike Wilson with Any Hour Services, and like so many things in our life, it's easy to take our air conditioner for granted. If you keep a clean filter, rinse the outdoor unit off every once in a while, and have it serviced once a summer, you can reduce your risk of unexpected breakdowns. But eventually it will break down, and if someone tells you that your only option is to replace it, don't be afraid to get a second opinion. You could save thousands of dollars repairing it instead of replacing it. Any Hour rarely comes across an air conditioner that just can't be repaired. That doesn't mean you won't choose to replace it anyway, but being told you don't have options, that's not cool. So if you want honest answers and straightforward options, give Any Hour Services a call. And remember, every week this summer, Any Hour Services is giving away an air conditioner to one lucky customer as part of our Coolest Summer Sweepstakes. No purchase is necessary. You can see official rules or schedule your service at anyhour.com. No one helps more homeowners than Any Hour Services.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
This is Midday with Maria Shilaos. A professional truck driver from Logan has been named the TCA Highway Angel for stopping to help a seriously injured motorcyclist near Garden City. Kevin Olson joined me to talk about what happened on that day. Well, congratulations on being named the TCA Highway Angel. How does that feel to be named the TCA Highway Angel?
Yeah, no, I'm not even sure. It's all kind of a new thing to me. I haven't been trucking long, but I guess I'm in the right spot, right time, doing the right thing, and I'll take it. So it feels great.
So describe for us what happened that day.
I was following this motorcycle up out of Garden City, which is Bear Lake area, and we were just entering Logan Canyon on Highway 89. The canyon is currently under construction, so there's some areas where the middle of the road is kind of has a rut. They're burying in some fiber optic lines, and he was in front of me, and he went across that rut, and it grabbed his motorcycle tires, and he was right there in front of me, and he couldn't get out of that rut, and ended up tossing them, and he ended up sliding, approximately 20 yards, and I abruptly just came to a stop and hopped out as fast as I could and went over to him to see what he needed, what was wrong, and how I could get him feeling better and get him composed. And yeah, so it was just kind of all happened really quick, really fast, and I'm glad I was able to just get to him as fast as I could.
Oh my goodness, what was going through your head?
It was just kind of all awestruck, but on the same token, I felt like I was just calm and collected because he needed assistance, and luckily nothing really major injuries or anything like that. We got him under composure and got him off, got him some water, and got him off the road and got the bike off the road. And yeah, it was just kind of all happened so quick.
I'm wondering, since you are also a motorcyclist, what it felt like to see someone have this experience.
It was like almost a scary moment just because where I do ride motorcycle. I just that could easily been me if I was on my motorcycle, and so I think that's probably another reason why I wanted to care for him as much as I did, just because I do understand the dangers that it is riding a motorcycle, and so yeah, it was just it was really kind of crazy.
How long did it take for help to come?
Well, in the canyon, there is no cell phone service, and I think that's one of the reasons why they're putting in the fiber optic line. So I know there was another passenger, another car that was stopped behind me that ended up doing a satellite, emergency service, and they ended up where there wasn't really any major injuries or nothing was life threatening. The level of severity wasn't, and so it probably took about 45 minutes for law enforcement to get on the scene, and I just remained with them through the scene, and I just tried to assist as best I can through the whole thing, and stayed as long as I needed with highway patrol.
What in the world were you saying to him to try and calm him down?
He was obviously, with the impact of the road, caused him to get his wind knocked out of him. So I was just trying to tell him, hey, slow down, breathe, and then he just kept reaching for his ribs, probably, maybe a couple broken ribs. Luckily, the guy was wearing a helmet, wearing a leather jacket, pants, boots. So he was wearing his gear, so thank goodness. And then it was just a matter of just assessing his injuries, making sure that there was any further injuries, neck problems, or joints, or anything like that. And then we just got him some water, got him some ibuprofen just to kind of take out the shock. And yeah, so...
Yeah, that had to be an incredible relief, though, to see that he wasn't seriously hurt.
Oh, 100%. Yeah,
Of course, you go to the situation, you don't know what to expect, but I'm very glad that it was nothing serious.
Kevin, thanks so much for being with me. Anything you'd like to add that maybe I haven't asked you?
For those that are out on the road, just be safe. If you see something, be that person that stops and helps.
Kevin Olson named the TCA Highway Angel for helping a seriously injured motorist. Coming up, the Sundance Film Festival is preparing to leave Utah. In the next hour of Midday, I'll tell you what they're doing right now still to support filmmaking here in the state. And we will continue to cover our developing news on the house fires that we've seen today.
KSL FM Midvale.
KSL Salt Lake City.
From the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios, this is KSL News Radio.
Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
3 people found dead in a house fire in West Jordan this morning.
Around 10:15 this morning, West Jordan Police and Fire Departments were both dispatched here on reports of a house fire. When crews arrived, they found a house that was engulfed in flames. Through the course of that investigation, our crews found 3 individuals who were deceased inside the residence.
The time is 2 o'clock on Friday, July 18th. It's midday. I'm Maria Shilaos. Coming up, this is a breaking situation. We'll get a live report from KSL News Radio's Heather Peterson in just a moment. Also this hour,
from 18 to 16, the UK planning to lower their voting age.
Could the U.S. follow that example and lower the voting age too? What about here in Utah? But first, our top stories. Developing news, we are following a deadly house fire of West Jordan where 3 people were found dead this morning. KSL News Radio's Heather Peterson is live on the scene at 8270 South and 6430 West. Heather?
Yeah, Maria, we are here where the house is blackened from the flames, but the flames are out right now. So far, all we know is that 3 people were killed in the fire. A 4th person was found, but they were life flighted to the University of Utah Hospital. They are currently in critical condition. Right now, the firefighters are in the investigative stage, and we will continue to keep you updated as soon as we get more information on what's going on here. Live in West Jordan, Heather Peterson, KSL News Radio.
Our top national story from ABC News in Los Angeles, at least 3 people were killed in a reported explosive explosion at a sheriff's facility this morning. ABC's Alex Stone is in Los Angeles with more.
Well, it's a training facility, but it's also the head of what's called SEB, the Sheriff's Enforcement Bureau. That is their equivalent of the SWAT team. The Sheriff's Department doesn't have a SWAT team. They call it SEB, but it's also their arson and explosives team and their bomb squad. So this is where they headquarter them out of. It's also where they house all their vehicles, and they do a lot of vehicle maintenance and do a lot of training at that center.
Again, that is a developing story. We'll continue to follow it and find exactly what caused that explosion. President Trump is pivoting and is now urging Attorney General Pam Bondi to unseal grand jury testimony in the Jeffrey Epstein case. Here's ABC's Nicole D'Antonio.
President Trump calling for his Attorney General to release more details in the Epstein case. Trump posted on Truth Social saying, quote, based on the ridiculous amount of publicity given to Jeffrey Epstein, I've asked Attorney General Pam Bondi to produce any and all pertinent grand jury testimony subject to court approval. Bondi quickly responding, saying, quote, President Trump, we're ready to move the court tomorrow to unseal the grand jury transcripts.
The White House is expected to file that motion today. Utah continues to enjoy encouraging employment numbers with the latest report out today. Department of Workforce Services spokesman Jared Mendenhall says our trend is stable and predictable, something economists like.
The job count grew by 39,700 jobs. That's a growth rate of 2.3%. And unemployment remains low at 3.2% compared to the national numbers.
Our unemployment rate is nearly a full percent better than the national rate. Mendenhall says it's encouraging to see growth across industry groups in Utah, including hospitality, which was sluggish earlier in the year. Taking a look at your money at this moment, at the close, the markets, the Dow, improving a bit since the last half hour. It's now closing down 142 points, sitting at 44,342. S&P was down just a fraction, pretty flat today. And the NASDAQ, it ended up by 10 points. Traffic and weather, it's brought to you by Mountain America's Double Rewards credit card promotion. Ricky, not in emergency traffic anymore.
Not in emergency traffic. That's the good news. However, we're still seeing heavy and slow traffic southbound I-15, Pioneer Crossing down to Pleasant Grove Boulevard, where we had an earlier accident by the entrance ramp. It had been blocking a lane of travel. They're trying to get that moved out of the way. And in Salt Lake City, we actually have a report of a possible crash at 6 North Bonneville Boulevard. Now, Bonneville Boulevard, it's near Capitol Boulevard and City Creek, but I don't think we have any delays in the area, but keep an eye out for crews if that crash is still active. Advanced Window Products, factory direct affordable windows. Call today, they're on their way. Financing available, save now, pay later. AdvancedWindows.com. Ricky Meeson, the KSL Traffic Center.
We are about 10 degrees cooler than we were yesterday at this time. At today's high, about 93 degrees. The same tomorrow, and the 20% chance of showers keeping those temperatures a little bit lower. Sunday, though, back up to 96. 88 degrees right now at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios.
A reminder about the simplest way to get updated for your day.
Hit your KSL preset when you jump in the car, and we'll take care of the rest.
Hear key news updates and traffic reports.
Andy and Amanda from 5 to 9 in your car.
KSL News Radio at 102.7 FM.
Join Smith's Food and Drug for a job fair July 17th through 19th at Fat Cat's Bowling Alley in Bluffdale, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Apply at KrogerFamilyCareers.com.
The power of we believes in you. It advocates for you. It completes your circle. It makes sure you have the strongest circle possible. And with Intermountain Health in yours, you'll always have the care you need to live the healthiest life possible. That's the power of we. Intermountain Health.
Tim Jr. here from RGS Exteriors. I want to tell you about our famous You Don't Need a Warranty warranty. That's right. It's a warranty you don't need, but we give it to you anyway. Let me explain. Most warranty problems for siding, gutters, and windows are caused by not installing stuff right in the first place. If you rush the work, cut corners, or use subpar materials, you're just begging for problems later. At RGS Exteriors, we don't tolerate careless workmanship. We slow down, focus on every detail, and use only the best materials. We prevent warranty work by doing the job right in the first place. That's why the 10-year everything guarantee we give you is also known as our You Don't Need a Warranty warranty. We absolutely will be there if you need to use it. But honestly, you probably will never have to. Done right the first time. That's the RGS way. For siding, gutters, and windows, call 801-280-3110 or visit us at rgsexteriors.com.
It's going to be a hot one before you know it, and that means now is the time to get your lawn ready with an application of Revive Organic Soil Treatment. Revive takes every drop of water deep down to the roots, where your grass can use it. Use Revive in early summer. It's the protection your lawn needs to stay lush and green during the hot temperatures coming. With Revive, watering twice a week is like watering 4 times a week. You'll save water, you'll save money. Spread it, spray it, use Revive now. It works.
This summer, Bear Lake Convention and Visitors Bureau invites you and the family to celebrate Raspberry Days, August 7th through the 9th. Join the fun with a festive parade, live music, food vendors, craft booths, and kids' rides at Heritage Park and Garden City. Don't miss the pie-eating contests, bingo, fishing tournament, and of course, Bear Lake's famous Raspberry Shakes. Cap it all off with the sparkling boat light parade and fireworks over the lake. Then, as the leaves turn gold and the air grows crisp, fall into adventure at Bear Lake. Explore scenic trails, cozy up by the fire, and check out the 2nd annual MMA Fierce Fighting Championship event and Bear Lake Brawl Demolition Derby. Whether it's summer fun or fall thrills, plan your escape today. Lodging, events, and year-round paradise just outside your back door. Visit bearlake.org. bearlake.org.
We are continuing to follow developing news here at KSL News Radio of a deadly house fire. I'm Maria Shilaos. This is Midday. Officials say 3 people are dead. 1 person was life-flighted to the hospital.
The age, the identity, everything, we're looking into that right now. Our investigators are on scene, continuing to investigate right now to figure out the answers to all of those questions.
KSL News Radio's Heather Peterson is live on the scene. And Heather, tell us, what do you see?
Well, I see a heavily charred home. This is a 3-story, looks to be a family home where the second and third story are pretty blackened. There's a trampoline in the backyard, so I don't know if that indicates whether the makeup of this, the occupants of the house makes this a family or whatnot. But overall, seems to be a quiet neighborhood. Everyone kind of keeping into their homes right now, letting investigators do their thing. There's a couple fire crews on scene still investigating, but the flames were knocked down about within 30 minutes of their arrival. They first learned about the fire around 10:15. Like I said, arrived there, knocked down the fire within 30 minutes and found those 3 people dead. And a 4th was life flighted to the University of Utah Hospital, where we last heard that they are in critical condition. The police and fire crews hope to have an update at some point once they get a little further into their investigation. But right now, all the details that we have are pretty slim.
Heather, what do we know about the people who were involved?
Not a lot at this point. Investigators have said this is very early on in the investigation. All we know is that there were at least 4 people in the house. They haven't said if they know if there were any other people in the house. But like I said, I mean, there is a trampoline in the backyard, so I don't know if this indicates if this is a family with children. It's really too soon to say at this point.
Okay. And then are they investigating this as foul play?
They are not able to say that at this point. They are calling it a crime scene, but only because anytime that there is a death, they have to investigate it as such until they prove otherwise. And so both police and fire crews are here. The cause is still unknown. And once they have a better idea of the cause, they'll be able to determine if it is an actual crime or an accident.
Heather, thanks for the update. That is KSL News Radio's Heather Peterson live on the scene of that deadly house fire in West Jordan. We will continue to keep you up to date on that story. In Saratoga Springs this morning, a grass fire broke out behind the Geneva Rock Quarry. It spread about a half an acre before crews got it under control. Fire officials say it was burning in grass. When it comes to wildfires, there's a lot that you can do to protect your home from catching on fire. Unified Fire Authority's Kelly Bird joined me to talk about how creating a defensible space around your property can make a big difference. So let's talk about defensible space. I think oftentimes people think defensible space, we are just talking about, that stuff that surrounds our cabins and things, but it's really much more than that. Describe what we mean when we talk about making or clearing a defensible space.
Well, there's different zones of defensible space and different actions that you can take in order to, create a safer, less flammable a burn environment around your home. There's the area that's 0 to 5 feet, and this is making sure that shrubs and things of that nature that they're trimmed up, that they're not overgrown, that you're picking up any dead leaves, pine needles, debris, just kind of limiting the vegetation that's right up against your house. That's kind of some of the most important things to do. Clearing any debris that might be collecting on your roof or in your rain gutters. As fires happen, the spread happens because of embers that fly. An ember lands on your roof. If it lands in a pile of dead leaves, that are stuck on your roof, that's going to give them more opportunity to ignite. So those are kind of the things you can do within that initial zone. And then after that, anywhere from 5 to 30 feet is the next zone that you kind of want to be thinking about. Some of the biggest things is thinking about the kind of the landscaping you're using. If you can use gravel or pavers and eliminate, things that will grow and die and create those fuels. Another big one is eliminating what we call ladder fuels. Those are things that are growing underneath a tree, like low-lying branches and shrubbery, grasses, and eliminating those so that they don't catch fire and can feed up the tree, getting to create a bigger fire.
Okay, so who should be thinking about this? I mean, should we all be considering it?
There's obviously areas that are more susceptible than others, of course. But like we saw with the fires in LA just this last January, is that anybody could be a victim, but specifically if you're up in what we call our wildland urban interface, the benches, if you're up against the mountainsides, anywhere that there's a large amount of nature and shrubbery and trees around you, you're more susceptible to some of these things happening. So we really want these communities to be thinking about that, but all of us can be taking these efforts to reduce the risk that can exist around our homes.
Describe for us what a difference it makes when we do this.
I'll just kind of give some anecdotal stuff. I was in LA for the fires this past January, and we saw homes that had taken some measures to kind of ensure this defensible space was set up, and they some of them survived completely while neighboring homes didn't, and it can't be completely blamed or put on the defensible space argument, but there is some fate involved in luck. But things like that is what you can see happen to you or not. Taking these steps to ensure these risks are mitigated as much as possible is only going to help you to be more successful in preserving your home.
Any final thoughts for us?
It's easy for all of us to have the mentality, it won't happen to me, until it does. And then you're like, oh, I wish I would have. I'm hoping everyone out there doesn't have any regrets and takes just these basic actions to give themselves and their homes a better percentage chance of doing well.
You can get more information on how you can add more defensible space to your home by visiting unifiedfire.org. Stay with us. We'll be back with more in just 60 seconds.
Peak summer fun is here, and so are peak summer savings during the Utah Summer RV Sale, presented by Bish's RV. July 17th through the 19th at the Shops of Southtown, we're bringing you sizzling summer savings on new and used RVs. We're packing the parking lot with smoking deals for every budget. Shop new and used travel trailers, fifth wheels, toy haulers, motorhomes, and more. Like travel trailers starting under $119 per month on approved credit. 90 days of all play and no pay OAC. Plus trade up when you trade in your current RV. Get an additional $500 value added to your current travel trailer, or an additional $1,000 added to your current fifth wheel or Class C motorhome when you trade it in. You'll also get a Blackstone Adventure Ready grill with any RV purchase during the sale. And this is the only summer show to feature the entire lineup from Wayfinder RV, exclusively at Bish's. Don't miss your best chance for an epic second half of summer during the Utah Summer RV Sale. 3 days only, July 17th through the 19th at the Shops at Southtown. See you there. Based on approved credit, 20% down, 8.99% APR for 180 months. Stock number 81734. Subject to prior sale. See the details. Deal number 426B.
Inflation is hitting cities hard in a place that you might not expect, the fire department. The cost of fire trucks has nearly doubled in the last 7 years. KSL News Radio's Michelle Rowe has more.
On the Draper City Talk podcast, Mayor Troy Walker said the cost increases have made it a real challenge to keep the city equipped and ready for emergencies.
From $800,000 to $1.8 million in 7 years. Now, if you don't think we have inflation, then you're not paying attention, because we do.
Mayor Walker also said when they formed the Draper City Fire Department, it took about 6 months to get a fire truck when they ordered one. Now the wait is 4 years. Michelle Rowe, KSL News Radio.
Sundance is preparing to move their festival from Utah to Colorado, but they aren't done here in Utah just yet. My conversation with the head of the festival is next. But first, it's KSL Emergency Traffic brought to you by Mountain America's Double Rewards credit card promotion. Ricky?
It's a new problem in a different area. A crash on southbound I-15 in Sandy approaching 106 South by the mall. Now, the vehicles involved in the accident had been blocking an inside right lane. They have been able to get it all moved over to the right shoulder, but not before causing heavy delays all the way back to the south interchange. And the afternoon drive is going to kick in here in about 15 to 30 minutes. So these early onset delays are not going to help. But again, the crash out of traffic now, southbound I-15 at 106 South. The Good Feet store supporting you with comfort no matter what the day brings. Find the location nearest you at goodfeet.com. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
At Your Service Pros has always been family-owned and has served Utah homeowners for over 20 years for all of their heating, air, plumbing, and electrical needs. Now, they feel a driving factor behind their company's success is to put people first. And I can tell you firsthand that they do that. I called Jared yesterday, said my air conditioning had gone out, and this morning he was there, helped me decide whether I could repair it or replace it. This is a great company. They want to make sure that their customers stay informed. So this year, what they've done, they started a YouTube channel called Healthy Water and Air, and they're giving you a chance to win a free air conditioning system. And all you need to do is comment on their YouTube videos. Now, they're also giving you a second opportunity to nominate someone for a free air conditioning system. So all you need to do is visit YouTube, and they'll tell you the restrictions on the site there. You go to YouTube, search for Healthy Water and Air, and watch that AC video. Subscribe or comment. You can just say hi to double your chances of winning.
Selling or buying a home, you're losing a lot of money if you're not using the Bank Buster loan. This is Rod with the Sabright Realtor team at Realty Path. Nothing compares to the Bank Buster loan. Home sellers, you get a quicker sell and a higher net price. How? The buyer of your home gets a rate as low as 4.75% with a payment that saves them hundreds every month. The ultra-low Bank Buster rate is not a seller concession that comes out of your pocket. It's all thanks to our affiliate lender, Sabright Mortgage, and their Bank Buster loan. Hire the Sabright Realtors when you sell or buy a home, and you automatically get a preferred lender and a Bank Buster loan. Buyers, you can start with a rate in the ones. Don't lose tens of thousands of your hard-earned money. Sell and buy your home with a Bank Buster loan. Call 801-APPROVE or visit sabright.com.
Well, here we are in the middle of the summer. It is hot, it is sizzling, and it is time for a wonderful steak. Now, if you're tempted to go out in the backyard, fire up the charcoal or the grill, and then go to all the trouble of getting the meat and getting all of the side dishes and then preparing it and then cleaning up, how about if you just do this? Why don't you call right now and make your reservation at one of the two Ruth's Chris locations? There's Hotel Park City up in the mountains or in the heart of downtown Salt Lake City at 275 Southwest Temple. There's so many great things that are going on right now. Why take all that time to cook and to clean and to prepare when Ruth's Chris is ready to do it for you and deliver an award-winning dining experience? It's all waiting for you. The perfect steak, the side dishes are amazing. Other things too, poultry and fish. Ruth's Chris Steakhouse, 2 locations, Hotel Park City, downtown Salt Lake City.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
Hi, it's me, Flo, here to tell you that with the Progressive Home and Auto Bundle, you get 24/7 protection, so you're covered no matter where the day takes you.
Even bad hair day?
Yep.
And tree branch fell on my car day?
Especially that day. Progressive has you covered 24/7 for your home and auto.
How about thought it was chicken, but it was tuna day? Or overnight construction outside my bedroom day?
Those days too.
Great, because that was each day this week.
Been there. Well, at least your home and auto are covered every day with Progressive.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
You are listening to Midday with Maria Shilaos. Film screenings taking place this weekend ahead of the upcoming Sundance Film Festival. The festival's director, Eugene Hernandez, joined me to talk about how the screenings this weekend are all about preparing for the festival while also mentoring emerging artists.
I'm going to start with where we are right now, which is Local Lens, our annual program that is a free program for folks in Salt Lake City and Park City, free screenings all weekend long. A selection of films from this year's festival, a mix of films, documentaries, fiction work, and
it's hard for me to imagine. I mean, the festival is still months away, but you've already gotten started.
Well, it is a year-round endeavor. Sundance is unique as a festival of global discovery. We're a festival that does an open call for submissions from anywhere in the world. We're looking for those breakthrough first and second time directors, and typically we receive 15 to 16,000 submissions from around the world. So it takes the better part of a year to watch all of those movies. So we're watching movies, making decisions, and laying the foundation for a program that will lock later this fall.
So describe how you are mentoring artists right now then.
We have always been big fans here in Salt Lake of an organization called SpyHop. which is a nonprofit arts organization that supports emerging and aspiring young filmmakers. And so we're doing a filmmaking workshop, a mentorship program, actually this afternoon, matching up some of the artists who are coming in from out of the state or out of the city to participate in Local Lens with kids who are filmmakers at Spy Hop wanting to get their break and hopefully apply to the Sundance Film Festival in the future.
Describe the importance of such a mentorship program.
It's an interesting aspect of Sundance and a kind of fundamental aspect of Sundance. When Robert Redford founded the Sundance Institute in the 80s, it actually started as an organization to support and to create opportunities for aspiring and up-and-coming artists and filmmakers in particular. What is unique about it, his vision for what the Sundance Institute would be has continued to be a place for learning and honing your craft and your story. And so in launching that vision here in Utah, it's been a part of our DNA since the very beginning, even before the festival. In fact, the festival was created, of course, the festival began in Salt Lake City as the Utah U.S. Film Festival. And when Mr. Redford and folks got involved and the festival went through its first transformation, its first evolution to become Sundance, it was really to support and be a place of exhibition for some of those films that were being supported and some of those artists who were being supported by those early labs. So our labs still take place right here in Utah. They've existed for decades at the Sundance Mountain Resort, which is where our Screenwriters Lab will happen in January.
So how will things change now that we're hearing this is the last season for Sundance?
I've been using the word culmination because it's maybe a little softer, because this is also emotional for me, and I know it's emotional for audiences. I've spent time last night with a number of folks who turned out for those popular screenings that I mentioned, and I'm continuing to hear and feel those reactions of folks who live either here in Salt Lake or in the Valley or up in Park City. This culmination is a significant one. The festival has been on a journey since it began, as I mentioned, starting in Salt Lake, rebranding, relaunching as Sundance, and moving to Park City in the 80s, and then going through the expansion and the evolution that happened in the early 2000s. After the Olympics, I think the festival looked very different after the first time the Olympics were here. And now we're at this next moment, this next point, this next juncture for the festival. And I think it's important to ground your listeners and folks in understanding that while the festival is having this culmination in 2026, this moment of significant evolution, Sundance is still rooted here. A third of our staff live and work here in Utah and Salt Lake or in the greater Valley. We continue to create and produce programs that either support artists like the labs I mentioned earlier, and we continue to explore ways that we can continue to support the arts and making those connections to audiences, the artists, and making those connections to audiences. That's really our fundamental mission. And we consider ourselves part of the community of Utah. And so even though the festival is moving to a new place in 2027, Sundance is still here and Sundance is still rooted here.
So how will the festival maybe look a little different this year as a result of that?
One of the things that we're really focused on is how we can honor that legacy that I was talking about earlier. Mr. Redford's vision for creating this place literally away from, outside of the Hollywood system, where independent filmmakers, independent artists could learn and grow and hone and shape their work. He shared with us recently a statement, a phrase that has been really kind of a guiding principle as we do our work of planning the next festival, and that is, everyone has a story. It's really grounding for us as a framing, as a statement for us of a reminder of that vision, because Sundance is not only, as a festival of global discovery, the stories that we put on the big screen. That's part of it. Then there's the stories kind of behind the stories. We had Cole Webley last night sharing a film called Omaha, which was premiered at Sundance back at the festival in January, but was made here and shot here in Salt Lake. And he was telling us the story of behind the making of his film. So you have those stories. But then we all have, as someone who's been going to the festival for 30 years, we have our own stories of the experience of coming to this festival, the experience of the artists that we've met, or the work that has shaped us or given us a different perspective on how we think about what's going on in our world, what's going on in our country, what's going on in places where we might never go in person, but being able to be transported through either fiction or nonfiction work. So that everyone has a story, that phrase that Mr. Redford shared with us recently has been a really grounding one for us, and a really kind of a rallying cry as we think about how to best honor and celebrate his contribution to the festival and to the arts community in Utah. And so we will be honoring and celebrating that in some of the special events that we present at the festival. So what's great for your listeners who are thinking about the upcoming festival now is that you're already here. There are certainly folks who will travel from all over the world, as they do every year, to be part of our festival, but you're already here for the entire time. So stick with us the entire festival of 2026, all 11 days, because we're planning some really exciting special moments, and we've had filmmakers from the past years of Sundance reaching out to us, even since this letter went out on Monday. Had some amazing phone calls with people who want to be here for this festival, and we want to create a festival that will have the largest and greatest and most exciting impact on the local arts community here, as it has continued to do for 40 plus years, and as we continue to think about what we might do together in the future.
Looking forward to the festival in January. This weekend's free screenings that are happening at the Ray Theater in Park City and at the Broadway Center Cinemas here in Salt Lake. It's 2:30 midday at KSL News Radio. I'm Maria Shilaos. Some of the stories we are watching this hour. The voting age, should it be lowered from 18 to 16? The UK is doing it. We'll chat with someone who thinks it's a good idea. Plus, we'll get you ready for a weekend full of festivals up in the canyons. And KSL traffic, Ricky.
We are starting to see traffic move again, but heavier than normal delays southbound I-15 between 53rd South into Sandy, where we have an accident. Maria?
First, KSL's top stories. We are following a deadly house fire out of West Jordan where 3 people were found dead this morning. West Jordan police say they were called around 10:15 and found the home on 8270 South and 6430 West engulfed in flames. A 4th person in the home at the time was life-flighted to the hospital. We do have a reporter on the scene. You heard from Heather Peterson. We'll continue to get the very latest from her. Salt Lake City may be one of the worst places to live as a recent college graduate. KSL News Radio's Alexandria Bonilla has more.
Compared to other metros, Salt Lake City has some of the lowest potential for degree holders looking for jobs. A report from ADP says it's due to a combination of low hiring rates and weak wages, but it's considered generally affordable. It's only gotten worse, though. Hiring rates dropped in the last year, going from 2.1% to 1.8%.
Excluding the pandemic, the unemployment rate for younger degree holders is at its highest level in a dozen years. Other local stories we are following. UDOT hopes to make driving around Pineview Reservoir safer with a new wire fence along a cliff edge that has had rockfall problems in the past. KSL News Radio's Randall Jepson has more.
If you drive along the north side of Pineview Reservoir, you know about that big cliff edge not far from the road. And every once in a while, rocks can fall off those cliffs. One boulder, it even went right through a truck's windshield back in 2018. We spoke with UDOT's John Gleason after that driver was seriously injured.
If there's anything that looks like it could be trouble, that's something we can address. But most of the time, you're not going to see these things before they happen.
Starting next week, UDOT is going to install a wire mesh fence to catch falling rocks. And they'll have to close a section of the road for 3 weeks to get it done. They'll be using a helicopter and a crane. They hope to have the whole project wrapped up before the end of August. Randall Jepson, KSL News Radio.
Your money at this moment. The Dow is down by 142 points at the close, sitting at 44,342. S&P was flat today. The NASDAQ up by 10 points. Traffic and weather, it's brought to you by Mountain America's Double Rewards credit card promotion. You've kind of had an up and down day, Ricky.
And it's back up and down again, Maria. We are out of emergency traffic. That's the good news, but we are not clear of delays. It's slow. Southbound I-15 starting in Murray at 53rd South all the way down to where we have an accident approaching 106 South, but it is over to the shoulder out of traffic. Northbound I-15, another accident in South Salt Lake. It's about halfway between 33rd South and 2100 South, but moved over to the shoulder and out of traffic. All tickets are on sale now, so claim your spot and start planning your perfect Park City night. Details at DeerValleyMusicFestival.org. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
We are headed for a high of 93 degrees today, much the same tomorrow. Both days, a 20% chance of showers. Sunday, no chance of showers and a high of 96. 88 degrees at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios.
The sources where we get our news matters.
When you listen to Utah's Morning News, we want you to feel the stories are important to you and trustworthy. This is Amanda Dixon.
And I'm Andy Farnsworth. Join us weekday mornings on KSL News Radio.
Getting help with electrical repairs is easier than you think. All you have to do is call Any Hour Services or schedule an appointment at anyhourservices.com. No one helps more homeowners than Any Hour Services.
Hey there, it's Julie from Logan, where we know how to celebrate summer. First, something super cool when it's really hot. Logan has a new plaza downtown with music and games and a splash pad for kids. Well, I said kids, but hey, we don't judge. Jump in. Free Alive After 5 concerts and movies at the plaza Wednesday and Friday nights. Check out the calendar at explorelogan.com. Keep it cool by checking out live tribute concerts like The Monkees, Elton John's The Rocket Man Show, and the Neil Diamond Experience. If theater is more your style, see the musical Bright Star, Broadway's The Prince of Egypt, or the classic comedy The Importance of Being Earnest. After all, Logan is Utah's heart of the arts. Fresh mountain air is only 10 minutes from your hotel. Enjoy cooler temperatures in the canyon while you hike, mountain bike, picnic, fish, or sing yodelay-hee-hoo at the top of your lungs. Everything's cooler in Logan, and we've got a lot going on. Check out the calendar at explorelogan.com. explorelogan.com.
More fiber and laxatives, eh? Who are you? I'm future you. Future me? Constipation with belly pain still coming back? Our doctor figured it out. It's irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, and Linzess could help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
If you're ready to buy a home or sell a home and you're worried about the current real estate market because of what you've heard from some of your friends or family, well, we're here to tell you that you really shouldn't be worried, because now is a great time to buy and sell with our friends at the Stern team, powered by Almada Real Estate.
And here's why. Buyers have more options due to increased inventory, which gives them the power to negotiate for repairs, interest rate buy-downs, and closing cost assistance. While at the same time, sellers are still getting top dollar for their homes, with home values that are higher today than ever before. So whether you're looking to buy or sell, the current real estate market presents a win-win opportunity for both buyers and sellers.
But you still do want to make sure that you're working with a team of real estate experts you can trust that can get you some great results. And that's our friends at the Stern team, powered by Almada Real Estate.
They have helped thousands of Salt Lake City homeowners, and they're ready to help you. To get started, just go to thesternteam.com. That's thesternteam.com, or Google The Stern Team.
You are listening to Midday with Maria Shilaos. Could 16 and 17-year-olds get the right to vote? It's soon to be a reality in the United Kingdom. The Brits changed their voting age from 21 to 18 in 1969. The U.S. followed suit in 1971 with the 26th Amendment. On this episode of the Start Here podcast, host Brad Milkey explains the coming change and if the U.S. could do the same thing in the near future.
I always think of 18 as the age when I became an adult. But when you think about it, 16 was when I got real responsibility. You get entrusted with a driver's license. People's lives are in your hands. In other countries, like the UK, the driving age is 17. But yesterday, officials in Britain announced that soon, 16 will become their national voting age.
our democracy is central to who we are as a country. We can take pride in its evolution.
This was a major part of the Labour Party's platform when it dominated elections last year. We're going to give 16 and 17-year-olds the right to vote. In some parts of the country, like Scotland and Wales, they already have that right in some local elections. This would be a national change, which Prime Minister Keir Starmer has said will be transformative for democracy.
But if you're old enough to go out to work, if you're old enough to pay your taxes, then you are entitled to have a say on how your taxes are spent.
The idea here is this will open up the process to young voters who have just as much writing on the government, if not more, than other voters.
I think a lot of people, even from a very young age, have very strong opinions, and they think their opinions should be heard.
Of course, the counter-argument is always, there's a reason we have a minimum age for voting. The younger you are, the less you know about government, about life, and the less distracted you'll be by false campaign promises. The counter-argument to that counter-argument would be, of course, have you met the average voter?
I've always been kind of frustrated just watching politics and not being able to do anything. And I know loads of other people who feel the same, who are really interested in politics and get frustrated at watching all the older people vote.
Britain, by the way, is far from the only country that allows 16-year-olds to vote. Brazil does, so does Argentina, so does Austria. In Greece, it's 17 years old. So could this affect future elections? Well, in the UK, polls show that teenagers are significantly more liberal, which is why conservatives say this is nothing more than a ploy by the Labour Party to rack up more votes. However, it's not a given. We did see in the U.S. last year that Republicans improved their performances dramatically with young voters. What's more, even if a teenager is liberal, doesn't necessarily mean they'll vote for Labour. Recent polling shows they're just as likely to vote for the British Green Party or the Liberal Democrats. It could splinter the left. Regardless of the political outcomes, I got to admit, I could never imagine the U.S. expanding the pool like this. But if a big, diverse, developed country like the UK can do it, and if teenagers become even more engaged in politics because of it, well, maybe our old ways aren't as cemented as we think.
Here in Utah, there have been several attempts over the years to lower the voting age in state and local elections. A change to the voting age in federal elections would require approval from Congress since it's defined as 18 in the 26th Amendment. In 2016, then State Representative Joel Briscoe, a former high school civics teacher, proposed lowering the voting age to 17 in June primary elections if they'd turn 18 by November. Then, in 2021, he proposed another similar amendment, which would lower the voting age in school board elections to 16. Neither of those bills passed. In the UK, as we heard from Brad Milkey, lowering the voting age is set to help the Liberal Party get more voters, as many young people are more liberal. But that wouldn't necessarily be the case here in Utah. To help us with that, let's bring on Republican and Riverton City Council member Andy Perucci. He's been involved and interested in politics from a young age. And Andy, thanks for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for having me on today.
Describe why you believe 16 and 17-year-olds should be able to vote.
I think that 16 and 17-year-olds should be able to vote because we are entrusting them with a driver's license. Many of them are given opportunities to work. They're paying taxes and contributing to our society. And so I feel like their voice is an important voice that needs to be heard at the ballot box.
A common pushback is that young people, they don't have enough knowledge or experience to vote. What are your perspectives on that?
I think that being in high school is the perfect time to get them immersed into our electoral process, where they're taking civics in their schools and they have opportunities to have conversations about the political process and the world around them with their families. And research shows that the earlier you vote, the more likely it is to become a habit. Why not start at 16 or 17?
So speaking of age restrictions, many public offices also have age restrictions. Do you think that those age restrictions should be lowered or eliminated as well?
I do. Yeah, I think that the best determining factor of whether somebody is qualified to represent a community or the state or a region is the voters. And these arbitrary age restrictions, I think, discount the intelligence of the American people and the voters in general.
Do you think allowing younger people to vote here would help Democrats or Republicans more?
You know, if before the last election, I think a lot of people would have reflexively said Democrats, but diving through the data from the most recent presidential election shows that Republicans have a lot of opportunity with Gen Z, particularly those that are on the younger end of the Gen Z group. President Trump actually won at least 50% of support among voters under 20 across every race and sex demographic except for women of color. So I actually think that the opportunities are out there for both parties, but increasing for Republicans.
Well, there's no doubt we need to get more people out and voting as it is. I mean, still, many elections have very low voter turnout.
They do, and at the end of the day, our government is reflective of those who turn out to vote and make those decisions. And so the more people that participate, the more reflective our government and our policies are of the people that they're representing.
How likely is something like this to happen in Utah?
It comes up pretty often. We do allow 17-year-olds to vote in primaries and participate in the caucus and convention system if they're going to be 18 before the general election. So I don't think it's completely out of the realm of possibility, but it'll take a lot of conversations and a lot of persuasion.
Andy, appreciate your time. Thanks for being with me.
Thanks for having me.
That is Andy Perucci. He's a current city council member in Riverton, and it's great to have him here with us on Midday. It's Friday, which means it's time for a look at what's going on in Utah this weekend. That's coming up next. But first, KSL Traffic brought to you by Mountain America's Double Rewards credit card promotion. Ricky?
Early onset delays before we kick into the drive home. Southbound I-15, an accident near 72nd South moved to the shoulder on the left. And then the accident southbound I-15 near 106 South in Sandy moved to the shoulder on the right. Both are adding to the delays stretching from Murray almost to Draper. Deseret First Credit Union is turning 70, and now it's their turn to say thank you, with special member giveaways happening all year long. Visit dfcu.com to learn more. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
You bought a house, or maybe you're building one, but it just isn't feeling like home. Not yet. AMC Building Materials has this undeniable knack for transforming a house into a home, your home. How do they do that? They combine years of exceptional kitchen and bath creations with your ideas. In fact, customer satisfaction is their #1 priority. You know what you want. You know it's not going to be cookie cutter, and this is exactly where AMC shines. AMC delivers exceptional quality, bold-style kitchen and bath designs, along with their exceptional value and a timeline you'll love. Most projects are complete by the elite AMC professional installers in under 10 days. Immerse yourself in the beauty, function, and feel in person at the AMC Building Materials showroom in Salt Lake City. Get directions and schedule your free estimate at amckitchenslc.org. AMC Building Materials, transforming your house into a home. amckitchenslc.org.
KSL Broadcast Group contests are open to participants 18 years of age and older that are residents of Utah, unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest may not enter. Persons who have won in the last 30, 60, or 90 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available at KSLNewsRadio.com/contests.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-486-9600. That's 800-486-9600.
It's time
time to hit the road and make this your summer of freedom with Motorsportsland's RV summer deals happening right now. Save thousands on the RV you've always wanted and get away in style, comfort, and luxury. Whether you're chasing sunsets or campfire nights, we've got the perfect trailer to get you there. If you're sitting at another dealer to make a deal and suddenly they're adding thousands for freight, prep, or orientation, that's your cue to run away and come to Motorsportsland, where what you see is what you pay. Our prices are real. No hidden charges, no gimmicks, and no pressure. We're a family-owned, local Utah dealership that's been helping people just like you get away for over 55 years. Plus, we offer flexible financing, expert service, and free training with every RV we sell. Adventure's calling, so don't miss your chance. Come in today and let Motorsportsland help you get away.
Let Motorsportsland help you get away.
Motorsportsland.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-486-9600. That's 800-486-9600.
All right, Takis fans, Wendy's knows you love your Takis Fuego chips, so we thought, why not make a Takis Fuego meal with a Takis Fuego chicken sandwich with spicy chicken topped with crushed Takis Fuego chips and creamy corn spread. Plus, it comes with Fuego fries inspired by Takis and a bag of Takis Fuego chips. If we had any more heat, we might start an actual... I told him this would happen. For an intense new take on Takis chips, gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Includes 1 ounce Takis Fuego chips while supplies last. Takis and Fuego trademarks are used under license.
This is Midday with Maria Shilaos. New emojis coming to your phone just after World Emoji Day, and it seems like the theme for this year's new choices are hairy. ABC's Mike Dubusky has more in today's tech trends.
Every year, the Unicode Consortium rolls out some new emojis, and this year, a hairy creature is joining the fray, not unlike creatures of legend like Bigfoot.
Maui in Australia and the Yeren in China and Almasty in Europe. I don't know, there's so many of them, and they're all hairy. Right, so we have hairy creature for all of those legends of the thing you thought you saw.
Jennifer Daniel is the Unicode Emoji Subcommittee Chair. She says the new additions also include a distorted face.
Distorted face, it's inflated. It's also kind of like a fisheye lens. Either way, it expresses a vulnerability or some sort of tension and flexibility.
Ballet dancers, a trombone, and a treasure chest are also among the new group, which are all aimed at giving people new ways to communicate online.
And that's how language works. That's how slang and jargon evolve as well. Language isn't fixed. It's fluid and it's contextual and it's based on who you're talking to.
With Tech Trends, I'm Mike Dubusky, ABC News.
Midday is streaming live on the KSL News Radio app. It's sponsored by At Your Service Pros. It's Friday, time for cool stuff in Utah with John Smith. And what? You paid a visit to the aquarium because you were just too hot, right?
That's a great way to get out of the heat, is go to the Loveland Living Planet Aquarium in Draper. I always call it Sandy Draper. It's right off the freeway. Just look for the great big claw thing.
Right. It's
if you
very
don't know
unusual
where it is.
claw thing. But yes.
Do you know the history of the claw thing? Do you know what that's from?
I have no idea.
I found this out. I was really excited to learn this when they first brought it. It was a stage used by U2 on one of their tours, and so they would put this like in the middle of like stadium shows, and then people would watch kind of a theater in the round kind of performance from U2 back in the mid 2000s. So when the tour was over, they had this stage, and they're like, "What do we do with it?" And the aquarium was like, "Yeah, we want it." For whatever reason. And
it
honestly,
gets your attention.
It's turned out to be a really great thing. They've built a whole outdoor exhibit around it that features different plants and wildlife and animal facts in a whole thing.
How do
and
I
then,
not know this? I don't have young children at home. That's how I don't know this.
You should go check it out.
I'm going to do that. Now, I know with your videos, though, you're always looking at kind of more quirky things. So what are we going to see on your video?
You get to see us feed penguins.
That'll cool us down. Let's go to the Arctic and feed some penguins.
When it's 100 degrees outside, you can actually do this. This is not just a thing that I got to do. It does require a separate ticket, but they call it the Penguin Encounter, and they do it every day. They take you into a room, and that room is like 40 degrees. I swear. It's like a meat locker. And they bring the little penguins in, and they come on in, and they say hello, and then you get to feed them little fishies.
Okay, they toddle over to you, but they're not like geese that are like mean and bite you, right?
No, they're so affectionate. They're so nice.
They're affectionate?
Yes.
Does this mean you touched them or cuddled with them?
Yes.
Or how do
They actually they will rub up against your leg, and they'll be like,
Aw.
"Oh, hey, how are you, man?
Like a
Give me a
puppy.
fish.
Okay.
Yeah, fishy. Give me one of those."
Little fish?
Yeah,
that you're feeding
little
them?
silver fish-looking things.
Okay,
have you ever
that's
seen
fun.
inside of a penguin's mouth? Horrifying.
Okay, I won't look.
Absolutely terrifying.
Why?
There's like 1,000 teeth in there.
And they don't bite you.
Yeah, look it up. Yeah, look it up online. It's terrifying. You'll have nightmares.
I'm going to skip that. Okay, so what other quirky things did you do within the aquarium?
And we got to learn a lot about the history of the Loveland Living Planet Aquarium, which started in the 1990s as a van that would go from school to school. Then they graduated from that to an old pick and save store in Draper.
Mm-hmm.
And now they are one of the premier aquariums in the entire nation. Seriously, we are very, very lucky to have this one right in our own backyard. So you should go check it out. They're open from 10 until 6, I think every day.
So I've visited a lot of aquariums. I just visited the Long Island Aquarium this summer, and I will tell you that our aquarium is hands down much better.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Much better.
Like, I did not realize how great it was until I went to, I think it was one in New Orleans. And I was like, really, this is it? This is all you guys got? Man, you should come to Utah and check out what we've got going on.
Yeah, almost as good as a Baltimore aquarium, though. Have you been there?
I have not.
But then
do
that's
cool
a long
stuff
way
in
to go,
Baltimore
and you
sometime.
get to have the cool experience here in Utah, right? Right.
So, you want to talk about stuff that's coming up this week?
What's coming up?
All right. So, you got Keith Urban in town. And this weekend starts the Wasatch Wildflower Festival.
Mm-hmm.
If you like the
Another
wildflowers.
cool thing to do up in the mountains.
And then, of course, next week we get into 24th of July territory. We're talking about the Days of 47 Rodeo. We're talking about the Pioneer Day Parade. People are already staking out their camp spots downtown, I'm sure.
Of course.
I cannot wait.
Are you going to be on a float?
No.
I am.
I got disinvited from the float because I jumped off of it one year. And so now I'm banned from being on the float.
Okay, well,
But I will be announcing from the sidelines from the 103.5 The Arrow tent.
Awesome. Thanks, John. The Arrow's John Smith there. You can check out his YouTube page for more behind-the-scenes look on all the cool stuff in Utah. It's called Cool Stuff in Utah. Well, as you just heard, there is a wildflower festival underway. So if you're looking for something else to do this weekend, how about heading up to the Cottonwood Canyons to see the wildflowers? John mentioned that. Well, I need to go a little bit deeper. I spoke to Joanna Wheaton. She's executive director of the Cottonwood Canyon Foundation to learn more about this weekend's Wasatch Wildflower Festival. Talk for a second what people will see. I'm assuming that this is the peak season for the wildflowers.
We are seeing this. The wildflowers right now are just popping. It's exhilarating. We have yellow arnica. We have red and pink and white paintbrush. We have almost a purplish toned blue penstemon and Wasatch penstemon in the canyons. Down in some of the more wet areas, we have this vivid pink elephant's head. It's just really extraordinary right now.
Right. How is this different from wildflowers people would see in other parts? I mean, is there something that really stands out for those in our mountains here?
You know, we're just really lucky with the climate that we have, the precipitation that we get, the exposure and how the snow melts. It's just really a nice environment for the wildflowers to be nurtured up there. And also, the Cottonwood Canyons, because of these watershed protection and the way they've been managed by the federal land managers and Salt Lake City Public Utilities, they're still relatively pristine. And so there's still a lot of these open fields of wildflowers where you wouldn't see those if there was a lot of development up in the canyons.
I was reading an article today that says the wildflowers actually help prevent fires. Have you seen that?
They do.
How do they do that?
So wildflowers, any of the native plants that we have in the canyons have a lot more, have a lot more fire resilience than some of the invasives that you would see, like a cheatgrass, for instance. And so when we are able to keep the native plants on the ground, it does give us a little bit higher level of fire resiliency. Also, another interesting thing is those native plants work in that watershed to filter the water. So we have precipitation falling in the canyons. Those native plants filter the water, keep it really clean, and that enables us to have that really clean drinking water.
What would you like folks to know as they are maybe hiking or walking through these wildflowers? What should they be thinking about?
We always ask people, we have millions of people that visit the canyons every year, and we ask people to try to leave them as they are or leave them even better. So take out, if you see trash on the ground, take it out with you. Please leave the wildflowers there. Even though it looks like there are a lot of them, if we all pick them, there won't be, and it really decimates the seed bank in the canyons. Also, we ask them to stay on trails, even though it's really there are opportunities for you to want to take pictures in fields of wildflowers. We ask you to take those pictures from the trail and not to go into the fields. And then finally, again, just to leave your fur babies, your dogs at home. There are other canyons that you can take animals, but the Little and Big Cottonwood Canyons dogs are not permitted.
And you can register for the festival at cottonwoodcanyons.org. And if you can't make it to the event this weekend, you can find a self-guided tour map on their website as well. Have a great weekend. I'll see you tomorrow morning on The Greenhouse, and Jeff Kaplan's Afternoon News is next.
KSL FM Midvale.
KSL Salt Lake City.
From the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios, this is KSL News Radio.